myself.
Oh yeah.
All this social media savvy and good morning.
Good morning. All right. Might have cut out. Are you still there? Hello.
Turn it sideways. I'm not
No, you can be upright. It's fine.
sorry. I can barely hear you though.
Um. Okay. You might have to turn the sound up on your phone.
Huh?
Can you turn the sound up on your phone?
Yeah. It's up as high as it can go.
Um. And you're still not able to hear me, okay?
Just a little bit. Not as loud as I would like. Speak up. Okay,
Uh,
let me see where I can.
if you have headphones, you might be able to plug those in and have a higher volume.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch the phone anymore. Have it sit.
Yeah. It when you set your phone down, for some reason your video froze, and then it asked me to invite you back in. So I had to
Oh, my
invite you in, and there was two of you, and then the other one went away.
goodness. Excuse me. Well, I don't have a twin.
Yeah.
Um, seem like you're so far. I'm trying to pull it closer without touching anything. Maybe that looks kind of, I don't know. Maybe that's the way. Now I feel like I'm far away. I don't know. But anyway, I guess we can get started.
Yeah.
Let me get a sip of coffee.
I'll do that too.
Oh,
So welcome to the podcast. Glad we're finally able to get everything figured out. So Christina, could you introduce yourself a little bit and who you are and what exactly you do?
good morning. Excuse me. Good morning. I'm Christina Pollard Hair, and proud to say I am a woman of God. I am a Christian. Um,
Yes.
I have a nonprofit that's called Blankets of Hope Resources and Distribution Center.
Mm.
Excuse me. And the way that came about was I should remember the year, but it was several, probably over. I'm thinking maybe almost 20 years ago, when there was a tsunami in I can't even think, Sri Lanka. They had this
Mm.
big destruction of their land. Like a tsunami came in, just destroyed everything, and it was just debris everywhere. And I remember looking at that on TV and thinking, oh my God, and praying and thinking the people were shivering and all. And I said, they need blankets of hope. Oh, and because they were covering up with the I guess the bamboo or different limbs,
Mm.
and that's where the name came from, blankets of hope. It just kind of bubbled up in my spirit, and I thought, wow, that's what they need, blankets of hope. And from
That's
that, I don't know that I really initiated the name right away, but it stuck with me. And as time went on, um,
mhm.
I just start, developing ideas about blankets of hope and just getting blankets for people and thinking about um, people on the street, those that are homeless and all types of weather, even if it's rainy. It's good to have a blanket of some type of covering to keep the from getting wet. So it just kind of developed from that and grew and grew.
Mm. That's awesome. So where are you guys based out of?
St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, okay. Uh, so uh, did you grow up as a Christian? How did you
Yeah.
come to faith?
Yes. Often think about my mom and dad and say thank God that we were just in church. We were involved in the church with the Sunday school, the BT day, and the vacation Bible school during the summertime. So we were pretty active as a family in the church. And
Mm.
ironically enough, we didn't have a car at the time, and so we had to end up taking two buses. And it was a family of five of us. Well, no, four children and six actually.
Mm,
And it was kind of rough, especially when it was cold. Oh my
yeah.
God, waiting on that bus and singing, come on, bus, bus, shivering, trying to get back home but that was my childhood memory. We did go to church and we did have there were plenty of I'm going to say programs probably for the children. There was the children's church, and so we learned a lot about the Bible and have to recite the Bibles. Usually we have Bible drills, and this would be in front of the congregation. Just have to say this Genesis to Exodus. I mean Genesis, sorry. Genesis to Revelations. I knew those I knew all those verses. The
Yeah.
Old Testament. Oh, what's in the New Testament? So yeah, I'm glad I had that upbringing. Definitely.
Uh, uh, did did you have like a specific part of your childhood where you like, yes, now I'm a Christian?
I'm sorry, say that again.
When did you decide that you were a Christian?
Always, even growing up, already I accepted the Christian values, the beliefs. I believed in Jesus. That wasn't something that I don't think growing up somebody would say, "Oh, there's no Jesus," and I don't remember a time where I never did not believe.
Okay. Mm. Uh, and did you have some sense growing up that that God wanted you to start a nonprofit, or like how,
Are you kidding? I don't even think I've had heard the word nonprofit. No, not at all. It's my life has been very, very um surprising in a
mm,
lot of ways. I things that I'm doing now, I didn't see myself doing growing up. No, not at all. Had no idea what I was really going to actually do, except I had when I was in school, I don't think it was grade school. But anyway, once I got to high school, I really had an interest in sewing.
okay.
Even growing up, my mom would make our clothes, and we would have to maybe hem the skirts or the dresses. So I had some experience with the needle and thread, but not
Mhm,
so much using a sewing machine. So when I
mm,
got to high school and they had the different trades that you could take, I
mm,
was interested in fashion tailoring, which
mm,
that's where I really was able to come and hone in on my skills that my interest as far as sewing. So right today I really am a professional seamstress because I have made men's suits, lined them with the lining. I've made hats. I've made coats. I can do all of that. Now, have I done that in the past 30 years? No, I haven't done it at all. I haven't. I mean, people would ask me, adults even, if I would make a dress for them and if I would do this. So I've made a lot of, used to sew for some of the people in church and
mhm,
pretty much outfits that I would make at school, and my classmates would like them and say, "Oh, Christina, can I wear that outfit?" And me crazy, I would let them wear certain clothes that I make. Then I had two sisters, and then they would try to get in my clothes. So
yeah.
that was a battle. Then I would have to say, "Stay out of my clothes." But I and then my thought was
Mm,
once I got out of high school, actually I got my first job working at a garment factory right here in St. Louis.
okay.
And but I knew I was going to go away to school that fall. So, but that was an interesting experience, I tell you,
Yeah.
because it was more like I was used to just making garments, cutting out patterns and making outfits and designing them from there, as opposed to
Mm,
working in a factory. It's piecework. Well, I didn't know about piecework, but
mm,
say for instance, if I was only assigned to work on the sleeve for a garment, whatever that job was to get the sleeve ready and pass those sleeves on to somebody else, and then they attach it to the another. It was interesting, very, very interesting. A lot of what I say older women were there. They were working fast, and And I'm thinking, oh, I don't know. But anyway, one thing I can say about my fashion tailoring teacher that I listened to, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad I did, because she stressed during the classes, when you go for an interview, always have your shears with you. Your seamstress, you should have your shears. So I made sure I had some. They probably weren't the greatest. And I know some other classmates of mine went to this same interview and they asked us, "Do you have your shears?" Yeah, I was able to pull mine out. And those that didn't pull theirs out, well, how can you be a seamstress? That's your tool, you know. And so I was kind. I guess I'm gonna say I was proud of me that I listened and followed that, because they really do ask, "Do you have your shears with you?" Well, if you're gonna put you to work right then, what are you gonna use to cut fabric or cut whatever it is you need to cut?
Mm-hmm.
Don't just assume that they're gonna supply everything.
Right.
But it was a good experience.
Hmm. That's cool. So you ended up going away to school. Where did you go?
I went to University of Missouri in Columbia, Missouri. Yeah. I only stayed there for about a year though. That didn't that
Yeah.
didn't that didn't I don't know. It was a whole it didn't work for me. I'll just leave it at that.
So, how long has uh, Blankets of Hope been in operation at this point?
I would say initially maybe since about 2006 I just kind of start using the name.
Okay.
Um and then from there I just start getting involved in different events and having resources to just started researching resources for different things um, for families and for the homeless and for just whatever the inspiration came to me to do. What Blankets of Hope was all about was blankets, and I
Yeah.
I used to be a part of this networking organization that met once a month,
Hmm.
and it was a different social service agencies would meet once a month, and it just so happened where they would meet would be at a community center, which was about 6 blocks down from where I live. I didn't have a car or anything, so those monthly meetings I look forward to, because I was all up, dressed, ready to walk down the street to glean information. I'm a person that I information, resources. I gather that all the time, and I've always been like that as a child, just interested. If I hear about something and I think, oh, that sounds pretty interesting, let me find out more about it, see if that's something I want to get involved in. So I've always been like this, just born to be resourceful and not only just gathering information for myself, but sharing it to others. So start going to those meetings and learning the different social services that organizations with social workers do, and just it just broadened everything, my perspective, I guess, on the needs of the community. Whether it
Mm.
was there was somebody there representing maybe the Veterans Administration, then there's the Children's Division. It was just a lot of organizations, community organizations, and I started kind of going really heavy, really before 2000, just going to different events. If I would hear about a networking event, once again I got to go try to get there. And what I would do, since I didn't have a car, I would maybe talk to somebody else, say, hey, you want to go to this networking breakfast? It may start at 8. Okay, I've always
Yeah.
been an early person. Everybody's not going to want to get up at 8, so I have to find people and encourage them. Hey, we can go and get some information and take some cards, make some business cards, and exchange
Mm.
cards, and you just put your information on the table there, and people, pick up what they're interested in. And a lot of government um, representatives would be there from different, like the Department of Transportation, Department of Veterans Affairs, just Department of Labor. Those government representatives would be there, and that interests me because I wanted to find out what it was all about.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they'll give those attendees like you get 1 minute to stand up and say what your organization is about. I like that idea. So it was just, trying to come together and network. Now, did I would know what all I was doing and why I was doing that? No, I did not. I just knew that I kept gathering more stuff and more stuff in my space and looking at it and reading it and researching it and looking at the newspaper and oh my God, I was if they gave a degree on resources or a certificate, I would have
Yeah.
received or what is that, a golden cup. I would have received the award every time because I was into it. I was like a walking information. People would call me Christina. Do you know about such? No, yeah, I found out about this, and I'd be on the phone sharing stuff, sharing stuff. So I'm a billionaire when it comes to sharing information and resources. I don't
Hmm.
think I'll ever get away from doing that.
Okay. Uh, so once you decided to get started and like came up with the name Blankets of Hope, what was your next step from there?
Well, I went on and got once I learned, I didn't know about um, starting a business or anything. So
Hmm.
I found out about that somehow. I don't know. But anyway, I got registered with the Secretary of State, registered my name because I didn't want it, just out there freely. I had to secure that name,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Blankets of Hope. I think I just started with just, I don't even know if added the resources and distribution center, but it was Blankets of Hope to begin with, and got registered with the Secretary of State. So my name was legal.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I would just go to meetings, help different managers of like health departments would be there. And then, like in St. Louis, which I'm sure at other cities too, they always have health fairs and resource fairs, and this had began to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so the Lord showed me favor with many, many organizations. So during the back to school time, they would have back to school fairs, and I
Mm-hmm.
was blessed to get connect with an organization that gave free books,
Mm.
children's books, brand new
Yeah.
books, some from infant up to 12-year-olds. And so I would start gathering this information, and I would have books. I would go to health fairs. Um, one health fair used to donate blankets. I would have all kind of blankets. I would have so many blankets.
Hmm.
Uh, and when I would go places, and my table would be set up. I would have blankets to give out. I would have, excuse me, backpacks, other school supplies. So it just kind of grew and grew. And I have my little signed blankets of hope, information about it. And um, but I need to probably back up though,
Okay.
because before I get into all of that, there's a whole nother chapter.
Yeah.
When I was still younger, um, I before I even went off to finish high school,
Mm.
one day I was in the backyard, like we'd go out there, my siblings and I'd be playing or whatever, just hanging out, and I had a big backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was just out there one day, and I didn't even know. I honestly didn't know what was happening to me. I was kind of quiet, and I heard. I can say now I knew it was the Lord speaking to me, but I didn't know it then. I just heard in my mind, one day you're going to be doing bids and proposals and grants and traveling. I heard that thought and I'm thinking, what? I didn't know. I just remembered the thought.
Yeah.
I went on, finished high school, like I say, went away to college for a year, came back home, and I thought I was going to have a nice summer. Made the mistake, probably it wasn't a mistake, but I applied at Southwestern Bell and stayed there for almost 25 years. I didn't even have a summer. After 2 weeks, I got hired, so I was working, working, working up until almost 25 years. Then I stepped
Wow.
out on faith May 13th, 1992.
Mm.
took a buyout. I retired. I wasn't even old enough to retire. I was in my mid 40s, and I said, I'm sick of this. This got to be more to life than this. I don't want to just work, 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 and it's not. I mean, I've had promotions. I didn't want to go to another promotion, another department. Could have cared less. I was through with Southwestern Bell. Period.
So
So, so my
Southwestern. So it
go ahead.
was Southwestern and Bale. What do they
Huh?
do?
Southwestern Bell, the telephone company, before AT&T
Okay.
and T and all these other conglomerates took over. It's only used to be only one company, Southwestern Bell. Excuse me, and that was throughout the United States. By me being
Yeah.
in Missouri, working at Southwestern Bell. If there was a job that I wanted in California, I could have transferred there. I could have
Mm.
applied and transferred there or any other state. But like I said, once I don't know, everything got I don't even know what to call it. It once the greed came in and they
Yeah.
busted up the Southwestern Bell entity. AT&T came in and other telecommunication companies wanted a piece of the pie and it just, now who knows.
Mm.
Bell no longer exists, but so yeah, that's what kind of happened once I took a buyout and stepped on faith and took an early retirement. I said I'm going back to school. Okay, and I made that decision. I used to say, uh, I'm not going back unless I'm going back full time because going to school is like two jobs.
Mm.
It's like two full-time jobs, and I am not going back and try to work. I know a lot of people work full time, go to school part time, go to school full time. I said I'm not going to do myself like that. If I ever go back, I
Mhm.
am not working. I devote time to, and so that's what I did.
Mm.
Went back, got on the campus, and Elliott, I was like a
Mhm.
child in a candy store. I was so excited. Oh, because I love to learn. I love the knowledge and I was all over the place. I said, I don't know. First, when I left my Southwestern Bell, my thought was I was going to go into funeral services.
Okay.
See, see but anyway, I got to looking at all the different programs and I thought, wow, I didn't know they had a program for this. I didn't know they
Mm.
had that. And I have a musical background. Well, I took piano and all that when I was younger, and I've enjoyed it. There was a piano. There was the other. It was so much stuff I didn't know what to do.
Mm.
So my curriculum was loaded with everything. Because I was trying to fit it all in. I guess all
Yeah.
these 30 some years I missed out on the opportunities because I won't say stuck at Southwestern Bell, but I had the job and I stayed with the job. I didn't jump all around. During that course, I was married and divorced, and I had two children. And
Mm.
uh, May 1990, my oldest son had already graduated from high school.
Mm.
In 92, my daughter was getting ready to finish high school. So, well,
Yeah.
okay, it's my time. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going back to school and do some things for me.
Mm.
Excuse me. So, that's what I did, and I was just all over the place. I was excited on the campus, and I'm looking at these young people, and people were saying, "You going to
Mhm.
school during the daytime?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" Oh, well, the young people, all those young people in the daytime. I said, "So what? What's that got to do with me? I'm going
Mm.
during the daytime. I don't care. I don't really want to go at night."
Right.
And I enjoyed it. But then I saw firsthand, unfortunately, how these
Mm.
young people they don't know what they have before them.
Yeah.
They,
It just
oh my,
like you don't appreciate the educational opportunity until you're
no.
older.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Well, I always love school. When I go in school buildings or college campuses, I guess even now I'm so, so happy. I just get
Mm.
a burst of joy and abundance. I love the knowledge and learning. But I mean, they cut class. They wouldn't show up for class. You get financial aid. You get the financial aid check, and I guess you register, and the rest of the money you do whatever you want to do. They wasted a lot of their lives, and I thought, oh my God, no, no, I
Mhm.
didn't do that when I was younger. I just, it didn't work out for me at Mizzou that first year. But
Mhm.
and too bad I took so long to get back, but I did get back. Uh,
Yeah.
and So that was, like I said, I was everywhere. I had the piano. I was interested in TV production. I was part of that team. I did an internship at a TV station here, Channel 11,
Okay.
during my time. I love the video production and all of that. But everything I did was it was amazing to me. It was great. So as time went on, I like I said, I'm very resourceful, and I was getting out in the community and going to different events and seeing, and I'm meeting a lot of people and a lot of uh, in the growing up. Sometimes different, I guess, people would say, "Oh, Christina," because I I love children, don't hate
Mhm.
children, but never thought about working with children. Okay, that never was my goal to be a teacher, and not at least not with.
Yeah. Might have cut out. Yeah. Okay. Not so you said not with little children. That's
No,
what
no,
cool.
but I would be at places like where even if it's a family event or something.
Mm.
Um, Now, when my children were younger, yeah, I've worked with children. I have nieces and nephews, and I can come up with games, and we could have a fun time. But it was not my goal to spend my life working with children, somebody else's children. It really wasn't. I never thought about it really. But people would say, "Oh, Christina, you are you a teacher?" And I'm thinking, no. Mm-mm. But I was, in a lot of ways in my home and then in Sunday school, and I was a teacher, but I didn't have sense enough to know, yeah, you're a teacher. But because I really didn't, I guess I probably really didn't want to be associated with necessarily being a school teacher.
Mm.
Not that I don't know, that just wasn't my focus. So
Uh-huh.
even churches that I had fellowshipped at, they would say, "We want you to work with the children's ministry." Thinking, why is everybody coming to me about some children? I
Mm.
work with those children. Let them, their families work with them. Let them other people work with them. So, oh, we want you to be the director of the children's ministry. I said, oh God. Anyway, I would help out. Um, Also, when I would just go places and I would try to find a nice place. Even in church, I would go and get a let's see, where do I want to sit? It seemed like, Elliot,
Mm.
wherever I would go someplace to a meeting, I could be at a store, I could be out in the community minding my own business. And here
Yeah.
come children around me. I'm thinking, Lord, why are these children gathering around me? God, what in the world? And if I you'd be someplace, they would say, "Oh, we want to be with you." I'm saying, "I don't know why. Why? Go over there with your mom. Go over there with your." So I didn't get the picture. I didn't get the clue. I didn't pick up on the clue. So what happened when I went to back to college?
Uh-huh.
One of my classmates was sharing with me about temp services, like you get a job at a temp service. By me being at Bell all them 20 plus years, I didn't know anything about a temp service. That was the only job I really had. I could have used three or four more, but I didn't.
Uh-huh.
And so I started applying at a few temp services. I said, "Oh yeah, I can pick up some extra money."
Mm.
I So some of them needed babysitting. I'm thinking, oh brother, here we go. I don't want to deal with these baby kids. I don't want to be dealing with these folks' children.
Mhm.
But I started getting, and I did some elder care. I didn't
Mm.
know those things existed. Not really, it just wasn't my focus. I didn't realize the need. So I would get calls from the temp service. Got a family that needs has a newborn, and they need somebody to for overnight. And I'm thinking, what? Yeah, to get up with the baby overnight. And I'm thinking, I've never heard of nothing that crazy. Why would you pay somebody to get up with your baby overnight?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I'm just gonna say it like this. I felt like the Holy Spirit tricked me.
Just sometimes.
He eased me into this one, Elliot, because I thought, okay, at the time I think they were paying $7 an hour. That was back in the 90s. So that
Mm,
I guess that was appropriate, whatever. If I'm there 10 hours, okay. I leave that morning, I got my $70 cash in my hand. That was pretty good to me.
mhm,
Excuse me. So that started growing from those families, from the temp service, to people hearing about me, to the families and their friends. And then I thought, this pretty good, okay. So I had my recommendations and reputation was out there pretty well. I never even thought, oh, you should start a business, because I wasn't thinking about doing a business per
uh-huh,
se. So it just kind of grew and grew and grew. I would get people today, not like this is January. I would get calls like this month, and the family may not be due until May. Oh, Christina, we heard about you, and we want you to be our caregiver. We're having twins, or we're having triplets, or we're having. So I'm a new baby care specialist. I have a
mm,
degree in child development, early
oh,
care education. After saying all that,
mhm,
um,
yeah,
I at one point the Holy Spirit had spoken to me, because I was calling and telling people so much about grants, and this is a grant is coming up for childcare, and because this is just people that had met,
mhm,
and they were interested in childcare. Mind you, I still wasn't interested in childcare, starting a daycare. No, I don't think so. That wasn't my focus. But I can't really say what my focus was. I just knew it wasn't that.
yeah,
Um, so I just heard the Lord say, "Why don't you call and put your name on the list?"
mm,
And I was stunned. I thought, "What? Me?" Because I had been praying and said, "What am I supposed to do? I'm just all over the place here. I love everything. I like everything. I got to get focused here." And
mhm,
I thought, "Lord, is that what you want me to do?" Okay. I took a sigh, and when I did get back on the campus, I changed my degree to early care education
mhm.
and completed the degree and graduated with
Congrats.
flying colors, and all the professors thought I had taken those classes before.
Yeah.
I got books and didn't even open the books. They still have cellophane on them probably now in somewhere.
Mhm,
I never opened some of those books. They kept saying, "Have you ever taken these classes before?" I said, "No." But I was just, I knew it all. It was already in me. It was in me. I excelled at everything. And so I said, okay, if that's what you want me to do, Lord, you gotta put it in me. You gotta give me the desire to do this. And Elliot, it's amazing.
mhm,
It's amazing. That's all I can say.
yeah,
When I was in school, so many people would, excuse me, want me to be the director of their daycare, and I haven't even gotten a degree yet. And I'm thinking, no, 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 no. I still don't have a daycare, but I see I've worked in daycares, and it's very serious.
mhm,
I do not want to. I will never put my name out there in jeopardy on somebody else's business, and they're
mm,
not running it right. I want no parts of that. So I've
right,
never accepted a position as a director. I will be the director of my own center. Then I know how it's going to be run. It will be run tip top and decent and in order, and it won't be nothing messy about it or
mm,
underhanded, because I have seen a lot of things going on in daycares. I want
mm,
no parts of. But
yeah,
it's a great need, and as I go into my senior years, older years, I don't care, whatever you call them. Um, the greatest need I see right now in the world, you're going to always need childcare and elder care.
Okay.
That's that's it. That I mean, there are other needs, but those are the greatest, and
Mm,
they're neglected the most. You know,
mm,
elder care, child care, and that also incorporates people with disabilities and that some type of medical care.
yeah.
Those areas are they're not going to leave us.
Mm,
Somebody will say, "Well, we may need a plumber." Yeah, you probably will, but it's not going to be as serious as child care and elder care.
mm,
And you may need somebody to a gardener, but that is not at the top of the list.
mm,
But you're gonna all
yeah.
people gonna still be having babies. The longer you live, you're gonna need some type of care. I'm not gonna say everybody's gonna need. You're gonna need some type of care, companionship, or assistance. That's I guess that's the wise take I came up with many years ago. That's what's gonna be needed. Those are the greatest needs to me. People,
Hmm.
and really transportation too, because so much public transportation has been cut here. I know in Missouri. I don't know
Hmm.
about other states, but the bi-state transportation, and then what's called the caller ride, which is for like seniors and those with disabilities. I
Hmm.
mean, they've cut that tremendously, and people are just scrambling. It breaks my heart to see people. You have to go to the grocery store and then you got a cab. And then the cab driver charge you $1 each bag that you I said, how ridiculous, how selfish.
Yeah.
That was years ago they were doing that. I don't know telling what they're doing now. But
Mm,
then now there's the Lyft and what is that other stuff?
Uber.
I can't even think of all the trans
Yeah.
which is a good thing.
Uh-huh.
uh the lift and I can't
Yeah.
even think of all the things that the transportations now, which is smart. um you need transportation for medical appointments. It's just it's
Yeah. This
unbelievable.
past year, I was living in New York City in Harlem, and if I had to go to the airport, which was like 3 miles away, like a
Hmm.
15-minute drive without traffic, it cost $60 to get an Uber ride there.
Uber, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you could have walked, just leave out early enough, because I know how that traffic is in New York. It does
Yeah.
not move.
Yeah.
Same thing for California. It does not move.
Hmm.
God. So, and it's sad. It's just and it can you deplete. I don't care how much money you're making, it can deplete your little finances trying to get around.
Hmm.
And everybody wants to nickel and dime you, and I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess I've talked your head off.
It's good. You have a very uh, enthusiastic, vibrant personality, and I very much see why people were like, you need to run our daycare or our children's ministry." Like, and kids just walk up to you because kids know, like, just when they see someone, if they're a good person or not. And
Yeah.
I mean, just talking to you, it's making me smile.
Well, thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Uh, so So you started doing all these things. Did you end up starting a daycare?
I have not an actual brick and mortar daycare. What
Okay.
happened, doors were open for me to start doing presentations at people's health clinic. This was prior
Okay.
to COVID. I think I had been doing that for about maybe 3 years prior to COVID, where once a month I could do presentations at their, because they would have a large expectancy meeting
Mm,
or for the pregnant moms and dads, whatever. And I would go once a month and I would do a presentation and take children's books and other resources. What happened, the Lord, that's once again another idea he had given me, and that was to start having community baby showers for first time teen moms and dads.
cool.
And I thought, well, I'm not. doing this to promote teen pregnancy. It was just something, and I was not a teen pregnant person. I don't. Once again, it just came into my heart to start doing that. Excuse me. So I would do the presentations at the health clinic,
Mhm.
and I started asking. I made up flyers, and still at this time when um, I didn't really have like the mode of transportation to get back and forth and get around. And I used
Mhm.
to walk down to the my library quite a bit when I was living in a certain community. They would have the
Mhm.
library, and then it would have the exercise facility, and I would take advantage of that in the pool. And one
Mhm.
day, this particular neighbor, a few doors down, he's a talker. And I met with him on my way back home, and we talked a little bit and got to talking. And I shared with him things that I was doing, and he said, "Well, let me know." And I think I probably gave him a flyer about the community baby shower, and he said, "Well, let me know. The next time, when you want to go shopping, I'll take you shopping." I'm thinking, okay. I mean, I was excited that I had some offers, but so he and I kind of connected, and it just grew. I mean, it really did, because he said the first $100 and I was asking people to donate $20 to sponsor a team,
Yeah.
just for some a gift bag and some resources, to help buy stuff, and
Mhm.
it went pretty well. I mean, somebody from like the networking community um, meeting that I used to go to
Mhm.
put it up on their board at work, and some people donated that I have to this day have not met.
Mhm.
And we're talking about over since 2012 when I started the community baby shower.
Yeah.
I would get checks in the mail, $100 or $50, and I shared it with the bus driver, and she said, "Oh, I'm going to support too." And so she sent me a check for $40, and I
Mhm.
mean, it was just, I thought, oh my goodness gracious. So I got with John. I said, "Okay, I'm ready to go shopping," and he said the first 100, I'm going to swipe my wife, and this will be from me and my wife. I said, "Okay," and it just flew. It's just I can send you videos of the baby showers that I had.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like,
so and I just the Missouri has I'm sure all states they have resources and pamphlets. So I
mhm.
start ordering different things going online. These are free things that anybody can order
Mhm.
to pertain it to whatever they're doing, how to be a good dad, how just different resources and pamphlets that the different states have anyway. Their Department of Economics or Education or Health and Resources, they have all these pamphlets, because like when you go into health centers and stuff, they have pamphlets and stuff. A lot of those pamphlets are tax dollars paying for that stuff, and you can just call that department and get things mailed out. So I used to do that, and I would have my apartment would be my home and storage, because I would have books, I would have pamphlets, I would have baby T-shirts, and I would have all these things that I've been gathering. So when I
Mhm.
go to a health fair or resource fair, whatever it is, I would have my things to give out. So, like I said, yeah, that just kind of exploded with the baby care. I haven't done it for a minute though. I'm looking forward to getting back into that this year
Okay.
as well, because what beautiful thing that came out of it. Um,
Mhm.
there were three of my families at at the People's Health Care that one Sunday, all three of them were in the hospital, and the hospital isn't far from me, and
Yeah.
they were into labor and they delivered.
Mm.
So after church, I said, "Oh, I'm going to see my babies." And I went to the hospital and got to see all the moms and just talk with them. It was I couldn't have dreamed this stuff up. I can't even make. make this stuff up. It's I never even saw me doing probably none of the things that I've done over the I'm just gonna say the past many years. But I had just had a birthday this week,
Oh,
Monday.
congrats.
Guess how old I turned?
Uh, 25. Let's go with
Oh,
25.
you shame on you.
Well, okay, as my grandma said, uh, she had a 29th birthday, and then it was always 29 forever. So I'll change my answer to that.
I tell you what, I won't even tell you. I'll send you a video. I
Okay.
made a video this week. And I don't know, it was kind of crazy. I just thought I made the video last Sunday
Hmm.
and I'm still kind of playing with social media and how to do things. But I got
Hmm.
all excited. I was looking in the mirror and I thought, I should make a video. Tomorrow's my birthday. Let me see how can I do this thing and post it. And I started sending it out to people. I'll send it to you. I'm not going to even tell you. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so it's just amazing that
That's really cool. So so back to blankets. You so what are you doing with blankets right now?
okay, right now, Blankets of Hope Mobile Child Care Safety Training and Parent Services is it's part of the organization
Okay.
where as opposed to doing a brick and mortar daycare, um, doing the mobile, taking an innovative approach where, and I don't have all the mobility set up, the actual truck set up yet. I don't even have the truck yet, but I do have resources and to go in the truck as far as going to different areas. It's going to be similar like with People's Health Clinic, where where I used to go and take resources and information, but I would pull them out of my car and take them inside. But I want to set up I'm going to have a mobile unit where it's kind
Mhm.
of set up like a daycare inside, and we just go to different communities because a lot of families can't afford daycare. Um, it's just out of their reach, and it's pretty much always has been, and it's even worse now. But to have the resources, because I know how to tap in and get free books and all the other stuff and resources. Uh, that would be needed that I would want to give out. And the with the safety Blankets of Hope mobile child care safety training and parent services, I want to be able to incorporate the parents. So, a lot of times the children at daycare and the parents at work or whatever, I want to be able to offer like workshops for parent and child to interact because just spending you don't have to spend a whole day at an amusement park or whatever, spend a lot of money with the child to make them happy or for them to learn something. Just even a 15-minute little workshop where you can interact with your child. A lot of people just you have the children, oh, they're a nuisance. Y'all go in the room and play, but you never really give them one-on-one time. You don't know what their likes are, their dislikes. You think you know your child, but you really don't because you haven't spent any quality time with them. And quality time does not mean you can give up all your time and your freedom or it doesn't mean always spending a lot of money on them just because they see these expensive items and they think they have to have the tennis shoes and to do all of that is not necessary. Um,
Mhm.
but to just read a book or okay, we're gonna play a game for about 15 minutes, and then I want you to go and wash your clothes or wash out some socks or just teach them how to wash the socks. Even if it's just a couple of pair and you put them in the bathroom face bowl. Okay, this is these children are growing up dumb
Mhm.
because the parents have grown up dumb. Everybody you don't I used to live at an apartment complex, and it broke my heart when you go to the dumpster to throw your trash in there.
Mhm.
Some, I'm just going to have to say, some idiot, all these baby clothes. These
Mhm.
moms nowadays think, oh, the clothes too little, throw them away, get
Mhm.
some else. No, pass it on to somebody else. Somebody else
Right.
that couldn't afford to get the clothes. It makes no sense. The
Mhm.
items that America is such a, I don't know about other countries, but I know we are totally wasteful here.
Mhm.
Wasteful and selfish in many, many ways.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous. It made no sense to for trash a dumpster to just throw the clothes in there. Even the little baby shoes, you can pay. Well, you can pass those little shoes on. The babies, you really they don't really hardly need any shoes,
Yeah.
especially if they're not walking.
Mhm.
But the waste. So now I don't know how I jumped. See, I jumped from one thing to the other over there, but I just saw that and it kind of irritated me. But yeah, so that's what um, I'm looking to really dive into in 2024, get it flowing. Like now I know you've heard of the food trucks,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they seem to be have exploded. I'm sure throughout the United States, probably throughout the world even. And
Mhm.
so Blankets of Hope Mobile is a way of getting to the community, going to places. One strong initiative is going to be first aid and CPR for infants and adults because not enough families know about first aid and CPR.
Yeah.
You know, the spring come and the summer, oh, you go into the pool, you go in to swim,
Mhm.
you need to know about first aid and CPR.
Mhm.
Even if you never go to a pool, you really need to know about that. What to do if a fire should break out in your kitchen. You don't run and get some water because you're not the fire. That's not how you handle a fire. Those things are very prevalent to keeping you and your family safe. So I just want a mobile unit where I can be better positioned to help families, to teach them how to help themselves. Now, if
Mhm.
and it's not taking the place of going to an actual daycare building, where
Mhm.
we will be a mobile unit. Um,
Yeah.
but these are things that need to be shared and taught with the community. Because I know the daycares, they don't, as being a staff member at a daycare, you have to have so many clock hours per year. I don't
Uh-huh.
think it's gone past 12, but if you go past 12, that's good. But and it's up to the staff person and the director, everybody working there. You have to stay on top of your clock hours. It's a licensed state requirement, I'm sure, in all states.
Mhm.
But it's just not enough. That's you going to learn the information. But what about the parents? They need to know it too. They need to take these trainings on parenting skills and
Mhm.
clock hour training and cooking skills and other things that will help them to be a better parent. Or
Oh,
so that's what I want to emphasize to
yeah.
where they can better educate and then offer resources because I used to say I'm not focused on just jumping up, opening up a daycare. It's enough of them. It's too many of
Yeah.
There's really too many of them, and they and they just and just babysitting. That's not my interest. Like I told
Mhm.
you before, no, I don't want to take care of your children. Not like that. I want to put something in you and them as a family. I see myself more as an advocate for the whole family
Mhm.
because in a daycare, a child children can start and they come in all happy every day for several months and all of a sudden this child come in and you see their whole demeanor is different. You say,
Mhm.
and they come in from over the weekend and say, what's going on, how you doing? I'm okay. And well, over the weekend maybe they lost their home, they got kicked out, maybe there
Yeah.
was a fire, maybe there was a death, but you notice that the child's whole demeanor has changed. I say I want to be an advocate for the whole, not the whole family. So I want
Mhm.
to be able to have resources. Here's a resource board. Okay, here's some jobs. You can go to take an interview. You can. These are. If this is information that you can utilize and take advantage of. Whether you need food, clothing, shelter. Um, Daycares don't give you that.
Mhm.
None that I know of.
Yeah.
All they're interested, you get your child there, get them, pick them up on time, pay the bill. I shouldn't say all they're interested. I'm sure a lot of workers have a heart for the families in
Yeah.
various ways, but I want to make it a priority as to be an advocate to have opportunities available for them
Hmm.
uh, that they can benefit from. Maybe some of their family members can benefit from. Just have it available and encourage them. Okay, we're having a family meeting once a week because you need to stay on top of things. Okay, what's going on with your job situation or what's going on, and are you interested in starting a business yourself? I can help them do that. Um, it's like so getting with the get with the well, you haven't asked about the grants. What happened with the grants was once I left Southwest and Bale,
Yeah.
it was during the time when the super information highway started, the computers and all of that. I didn't really know how to use a computer, how you put in certain um I can't even think of what to call it now. Put in a your information and you can get to right where you want to get out. So I used to go to the library, spent my
Uh-huh.
days going to the library and I would get on different sites, not knowing how I got on the site, and then I try to write stuff down. I see information about grants. I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to get to the grants and find out what that was all about,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of stumbling and fumbling around in the information highway. I was excited about it. I would leave the library and I would have thick packs, bundles of stuff I printed. They weren't charging they for the prints, the pages. And I would get home, get all excited, get me a little lunch or dinner or whatever, and um, go through the stuff. Look at the different programs that the,
Mm-hmm.
the government had, the different grants. And I would be thinking, wow, this is amazing. A grant to help you do this and a grant. Now, this was way before Blankets of Hope, now I tell you.
Yeah.
This was like in the mid 90s once I left Southwestern Bell. And I would sit there, Elliott, with a highlighter, highlighting stuff and
Mm-hmm.
thinking, this would be good for somebody. Look, somebody that has a business, this would be good. And I would start writing down programs, how things. And at the time, my daughter was back at home.
Mm-hmm.
We were in the apartment. She's working full time now. I wasn't working at all. Okay,
Yeah.
so that was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
We did have a car that we shared. She worked nights, and during the day I would use the car, do my running around, go do my research, go to the library, and enjoy my time, my days, and come home with all these stacks of papers and I said, okay, well, I need to pay this bill and that bill, and she didn't want to pay no bills. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know how well, you probably don't know. Don't be that way. You take care of these children and you pay the bills and see them through and they grown now. You got a job making a decent amount of money and
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to help with the rent. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. It's paying your money. Well, you staying here.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to have our words about that. And
Sure.
she would tell me, I need to get a job. That's not a job going to the library. And I would say, this is my job. So, and then at some point, I would have so much stuff, so much information
Yeah.
at my place, and I would have it all stapled and sit set out and go through it. And I would say, Lord, why am I doing this?
Mm.
This is crazy. I don't have a business. I don't know why am I doing this. I just every time I went to the library, I came up with more information, educational grants. Oh my God, it was so much stuff. I didn't, I had it in categories and everything. And I
Yeah.
would, I would just kind of sit and cry and say, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this anymore. This is crazy. This is crazy. I would be, I was, I could almost say I was probably obsessed with all the information I was gathering. It was so exhilarating and to me, and I was excited about it, and but I didn't know what to do with it. I could walk through that grant application. I understand the glossary, the language. I learned it.
Mhm.
The Lord was preparing me. I'm a grant information and business development specialist now. My first grant review was back in what was it now? I don't remember now. It's on my resume. But anyway, I got invited, and I didn't know all this existed. But I
Yeah.
got invited to be a grant reviewer for the federal government.
Oh, wow.
Uh, I got selected for and I traveled to DC,
Mm.
all expenses paid, the government, hotel, air, everything, food. It was amazing. I'm sitting there thinking, grinning, oh my God, I don't believe
Yeah.
it. So, as a grant reviewer, met thousands of people. They were through from across the United States, some in other countries that selected as a grant reviewer, and we're working for the whole week.
Mm.
We were divided up in different teams. As a grant reviewer, it's a team of three reviewers, and you have a facilitator.
Yeah.
So, and that's I just got into it. I started applying for grant reviews, getting selected. Some
Mm.
were remote, where I did them at home. Some I had to do the work at home, and then they fly you out.
Mm.
I tell you, COVID came along and kind of messed that up too.
Yeah. I bet.
But it's a lot of great reviews still going on. You meet people and then you learn about other reviews. Hey, did you know about this review coming up next week? Well, no, where is it? Where's that going? I mean, you're networking and just oh my goodness. I've been in some of the government facilities and compounds and I call them compounds in Virginia because this one Lansdowne, Virginia was
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, I don't know what kind of place it was. But and then you don't have a roommate now. All these people, they don't make your room with strangers. You have your own private room, your own facilities, your own setup. When you fly into the airports, they have shuttles with your name waiting to pick you up and take you to where you're gonna go. And just, I mean, you was just treated like celebrity.
Yeah.
So I got to experience all of that, and it's just unbelievable.
That's really cool.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you get paid. You get paid. The only thing back when I first started as a grant reviewer, you had to wait like a whole month uh,
Mm.
to get your money in the mail. But now it's like last review, uh, travel reviewer
Mhm.
position I did. I don't know if it was, I want to say 2016 or whatever.
Okay.
When I left DC, I came home with my check in my hand, in my bag, because they paid you on the spot then. They got to
Wow.
where I guess they got it set up so everything was paid on the spot. I've stayed in Boston. I mean, I went places that I probably wouldn't even visit it,
Yeah.
you know, just not out of the blue.
Mhm.
But unbelievable, unbelievable. It just and doing starting to do all of that, it never dawned on me what the Lord had told me as a child.
Mm.
Until one day somebody said, "Have you ever taken grant classes?" I said, I got to thinking and I thought, no. And they said, how did you get started doing grant reviews? And said, I don't know. I have to think about that. And then like the Lord brought it to me, my remembrance that
Yeah.
time in the backyard as a child when he told me
Mm.
I was going to be traveling, doing grant reviews and bids and proposals. I hadn't even finished grade school.
Yeah.
I think I was around 11 when that I experienced that. And
Wow.
I know I was young.
Mhm.
And I thought, wow, he taught me how to do this.
Mm.
gave me the wisdom and discernment and understanding of the different proposals. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, it's so I don't understand it. It's so complicated. All that reading but most federal grants 70, 80, 100 some pages." I said
Mm.
the first half of it is instructions. If you don't get through the instructions, you're not going to get through the grant. A lot of
Mhm.
people don't want to read. So you have to read the instructions and the guidelines and understand it. Oh,
Mm.
Elliott. So I've learned to stay in my lane, child development specialist and grant
Yeah.
specialist. Don't ask me about no engineering or AI or what is this all the other stuff. I know nothing about it.
All right.
I have to develop my skills with social media, like what we're doing now. I'm not an expert in all this, and doing Zooms and all those things. There are a lot of platforms. I don't
Mhm.
have a website because I just haven't mastered that. But my prayer is that the Lord will send me a team to work with me, not against me, where I
Mhm.
can get some things done, accomplished that I would like to get accomplished to be more computer savvy and to to
Okay.
I don't have a website. I need one desperately. I know that. But
Yeah. Well, okay. So switching gears a little bit, I wanted to ask, how does your faith inform blankets for hope or
how does
blankets?
it
How does
how
how
does it
does
what now?
how does your faith inform all the different things that you're doing?
Well, you know what? Whatever I do, Jesus is the center of it
Hmm.
because so many people are discouraged and they think they can't do this and we want to do this and how do we do this? Well, what I let them know, whatever your God-given talent is, that's what you follow.
Okay.
Stop trying to follow other people.
Hmm.
Stick with what you've been gifted to do. I would not have be this where I am today without trusting in the Lord because it hasn't been like a walk in the park. It's been huge, massive struggles and discouragement from even being may as well say homeless.
Hmm.
But I recognize and I respect the populations. He's taught me, walked me through several mm, experiences,
Yeah.
and we all have needs. It doesn't matter the race or what have you. We all have needs, and we should be careful how we walk on this planet, how we treat others.
Hmm.
Learn to be a giver. I've always been a giver. Some probably some not my prayers, Lord. Uh, uh, Slow my giving down, and I'm not talking just about resources. I'm giving in finances as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people are tight. They're stingy.
Mm.
My money. Even when I was asking for donations for the first baby shower, I was asking people to sow $20. You'd be
Mm.
surprised how many people didn't. Oh, $20. Oh, that's a lot of money.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, really?
Mm. Yeah.
And then others just freely giving. Um, it's really not about me. When I do these things, it's helping other people, encouraging them,
Hmm.
letting my light shine because you can't take any of it with you.
Hmm.
Why not bring a smile to somebody else's face?
Yeah.
I have to. That's what I'm here for. Because the more I do and give, people I'm saying but anybody, God already knows our needs and our hearts, and if we're sincere, He'll open doors. Doors will be open for you that you can't even like. I was thinking, how did I get in touch? How did this come about? I don't even know how this came about. Thinking
Yeah.
the other day, Lord, when I remember seeing the email,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if it was the email or was it on Facebook. I think it was on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking, I don't even know what I've gotten into. I don't know what this is all about. I just said, I thought
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I just said, okay, let me follow through with it. I don't know where this is leading, but anyway. But
Yeah.
to a lot of people are they're afraid to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
They they have these ideas and they don't know how to get started, and then they've been walked over, messed over, laughed at. You know, when I have something, I just plunge forward with it because I don't have time to ask somebody. In other words, you know what? When you do, I have experienced this. When you ask people, how do you do this and that?
Mm-hmm.
They don't help you. It's
Mm.
like it's a closed society.
Yeah.
So I don't ask. I don't have to ask you. I already got a source I can go to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, show me how to do this. And then if I don't get so impatient and doors will open, I know how to be resourceful now. I know how to research and find out information. But when people come and say, how do you do grants? How do I don't hold back anything. I have had classes which I really charge, may as well say zero, little or nothing. I have
Mm-hmm.
not been paid the thousands that I deserve to write a grant for people because I give grant information and business development workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, but this is my year. This is my year. The rewards are coming in left and right. I call them in Jesus' name right now because
Yeah.
I really do. I deserve to get paid for all that I've sown out there. And I know
Mm-hmm.
it's coming back hundredfold, but a thousandfold. It's coming back. It's my
Yeah.
time to receive. And I don't say that like I deserve this or whatever. It's just my time. It's simply my time
Mm-hmm.
because the groundwork has been laid. I, even down to as far as people still need help with babies. I
Yeah.
I I work with for a family. I always say I'm not working for you. I'm working with you because my work is for to glorify God, whether it's taking care of babies or giving grant seminars, or it's all to the glory of God because to motivate people. You can do this. Whatever was burning in you to do, you can
Mm-hmm.
do it. If you've asked people if that you know it well, doing extremely well in the field, they want to help you. Don't worry about it because they don't know everything.
Yeah.
Just know that the Lord will place you in a position where you can learn from
Yeah.
somebody that's not selfish.
Mm-hmm.
But me sharing with somebody how to the blueprints or the outline of how to write a grant, how to format that they need to follow, it's
Mm-hmm.
not taking anything from me. If I It's not taking anything from me at all because you still have to do the work. I'm not going to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
I will walk you through the process. Now, if we come up with an agreement, you say I want you, even if you say I want to hire you as my grant writer, um,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot you have to do because I don't know your program. You have to tell me your vision, your goals, and we work together and put it uh, down on paper where it makes sense. Because once the grant is submitted, my name won't be on it. It's your gift, your grant, your
Right.
program. They're not going to call me and say, "Oh, what did you mean by this?" You have to be able to. It's just like doing a presentation. You have to do that. I won't be there telling you. I'll listen to you ahead of time and say, "Okay, that sounds great. Go on. Just do your best." But also, people think you write a grant, you get a grant, it's free money. It's not free
Mm-hmm.
because you are held accountable.
Right.
Even if it's $1,000 grant, you're held accountable. Even if the organization, the grantor, don't check up on you, you're held accountable because are you doing what you said you're going to do with this money?
Right.
Or are you just taking it and running wild with it? And no program is solid that just sits around trying to run off of a grant all the time because they don't come like that. It's too many people in the world now that I'm going to say that are hip to grants. So
Mm-hmm.
if there's $4 million grant being given out for an educational program, and maybe they only are going to award 100 organizations, Do the math. 100, and it might be 5,000, 10,000 organizations applying for this 4 million. You have to be the best of the best.
Right.
And if you get turned down, it's okay. Keep on researching, keep on applying, because
Mm-hmm.
every grant that you apply for, you're not going to get it
Mm-hmm.
unless you know somebody who knows somebody, and whatever. And that's not fair. That happened. That has happened many a times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've even experienced that myself. This one organization, no matter what, I never got a grant from them. And that was during the time that, I wanted to start a daycare. Um, but and I can look back now and recognize and understand why a lot of doors the Lord did not open for me. It wasn't that wasn't His will at the time. There's
Yeah.
one lady that had a home daycare, and I guess she still does. I don't know. I have lost kind of contact with her,
Mm-hmm.
and she would be at some of the meetings I used to go to back in the '90s. And she had a home daycare,
Mm-hmm.
and this particular organization had gotten some money, and they were funding, daycares for startup or expansion of a daycare for in-home daycare or daycare center. And
Mm-hmm.
so I called her, and she wanted to apply for it, but she said, I don't know how to do the proposal. I don't know how to do the. I said, well, I can do it for you. I said, but I'm charging,
Mm-hmm.
and I told her I was charging $200, which was a joke. I really should have charged, but anyway, I charged her $200, and she said, "Whoa, Christina, I don't really have the money. I don't have the money." Uh, I said, okay, well, let me know, because this, when the deadline is. She had been to the meeting just like I had. So it wasn't probably an hour later. It was during that same day she called me back, and she said, oh, Christina, I'm going to, I can pay you. I can pay you. Somewhere, somehow she found the $200.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the grant for her, Elliott, and she
Yeah.
was approved for $20,000.
Wow. That's crazy.
Because they wasn't giving a whole lot of money, but she was approved for whatever. I walked through the paperwork with her, and I don't know if she still understood it all, but anyway, I helped her through that.
Mm-hmm.
I never will forget that. But me trying to apply for different grants, the Lord, not the things that I wanted, because I just felt like, well, He has greater. That's not what my focus is right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, that's what, things like that. Um, so I really have not charged people what I should be charging. This year
Okay.
is different.
Yeah.
That- this year is different. It's got to be different, because if that's part, and it's okay to, and I don't. You can say it's a ministry or mission. It's all of those things and then more. But still, it's time. It's payday. Time to get paid.
Okay. So I want to go ahead and wrap up, but and say thank you for coming on the podcast, Christina. I've very much enjoyed talking to you. It's been a very
Okay.
exciting conversation for me. Uh, if people want to work with you for grants or to donate towards uh, Blankets of Hope, uh, how would they go about finding you?
I do have a PayPal. I'm on LinkedIn,
Oh,
actually, as a grant grant grants in plain sight is usually my workshop. And I do have
oh,
I am on LinkedIn and I'm on Facebook. So I don't that's pretty much for now, until I can get an email, not an email, what am I trying to say? A website or something set up.
oh.
But that's it. Yeah. But I can send you like I
Yeah,
said, I
I'll
get
put those links in the description with the.
you. Okay.
Uh, all right, I'll say that's the end of the podcast, but I'll stick around for a minute and uh, mention
So
things.
how does this work? I mean, you're not posting this anywhere, are you?
Um, so this our conversation right now, it's just currently on my computer. Um,
Okay.
I, I'm hoping to post it as a podcast in around a week or so.
Oh
Um,
my goodness.
uh, but so I still need to do like a couple like light touch up to the video, and
Yeah.
then it'll get posted. And I'll make sure to send you a link once it's up, so that you're able to have access to it in whatever you need.
Oh
Um,
wow. So
uh,
did you want me to give you my email or
yeah, if you could send me an email with those links for how to get in contact with you.
okay.
So if you want to donate or work with you, they're able to do that. Um, I'll make sure to get that in the description, and people will be able to work with
Oh
you.
wow. So what I guess I gotta ask you, what made you uh what is your
hmm
background? What made you want to do this or kind of reach out or
Um, so let's see. I mean, I got called into ministry at 17, and I started working in churches, and I went to Bible college and seminary, and I this past year did missions in New York City, and have since stepped away from that, and am now working with YWAM in California, which is Youth with a Mission, uh, and uh, what I specialize in is communications, um, and so I wanted to start this podcast as a way to understand better, like what is happening with the church in America, be able to speak with authority in the sense that I like actually have had these conversations, and I have a better idea of like what's going on all around the country, and I just want to understand, and I think it's a great way to get to meet people around the country doing
okay.
this really cool work, and um, it's networking like you were doing before. I think it's a great format to do that.
Right. Yeah. I the actually I have had a lot of nonprofit classes because people I've worked with quite a few nonprofit organizations and they have the concept that you know how sometimes a little child you have a toy and you don't want to share. Oh, this is
hmm
my idea. I don't want to share it. I don't want no people nobody to steal my idea. But partnership is what I stress with nonprofits to
Yeah.
partner with the community, the different organizations, the different churches. And what I found with I'm just going to say St. Louis. I won't say the whole world, but the
hmm
churches they don't want to. Things aren't getting done because people are selfish, self-centered.
Yeah.
They don't want to come together and work together. They're concerned about their name being over the program or the project. I could care less about that, Elliott. I
hmm
could care less because if you're going to be a nonprofit, you need to partner with people because you're nobody knows you. I'm telling you, if you something you new nonprofit and you think you're going to apply and get a $1 million grant, it's not going to happen. They don't know you. Who are you? What are you? You're not United Way or these big organizations that have been around for I'm going to say 100 years. They don't know you, so you have to humble yourself and learn to partner with other organizations with like-minded programs that you have. You can't do it all. Like I said, I'm not trying to do it all.
hmm
I know my expertise. I know my lane. I want to stay in it. That's why they got those lines on the highways and streets. Stay in your lane. You'll get more done. But it's great to partner. You cannot do it without partnership. And don't be so concerned about who's leading the program. Well, the one that has the skills and expertise. You can come in as a sub grantee and still promote your program if you're
hmm
working with the right people. Honesty and partnership is very important to
Yeah.
me. I don't, and the only
Yeah.
reason I started a nonprofit because it seemed like the nonprofits weren't coming together. They don't want to come together. So I'm promoting togetherness. Like I said, I don't have the social media skills. So with my nonprofit, I'm looking for like-minded people, those that have all the skills that I don't have, like setting up the website, and we come together and help each other.
Yeah.
You get a lot further in helping, people, your
Hmm.
resource. So okay, I won't keep you. I thank you, but I'll send you my information gladly. Um,
Yeah.
so I guess
Uh,
I'll just send it to your email.
yeah. So
Okay.
you can just email that to me, and then leave this window open. When you can leave the call, and then leave the window open on your phone. That way, it can finish uploading to the internet. Takes about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
We'll do. All right. Thank you so much. God bless.
yeah. God
God's
bless.
best to you and your ministry. All right.
You, also with you.